Hey everybody, welcome to another Thursday Night Dota with Sequoia Legion and Maniac! We have some AD2l, not Season 14 playoffs. Gentlemen, what do we think of the draft so far?
Looks pretty normal. Faceless Void is a Z special, not surprised to see it from LSC, and then the Shadow Shaman's Night Stalker's not surprising. Both are pretty good right now.
I think the Lion's a little bit interesting, but I know that is an Echo special. That is his hero. And he has no fear on that hero, so I think it's a pretty good pick for him. Good for the disruption. Oh, they pick up the axe. It's weird. Do we see axe at all?
Not really.
I mean, I played him the other night in pubs, and I think that was the first time I've seen axe in a long time. Like, at all.
Yeah, the only time I usually see him is usually an LSC pickup, because I know they like him quite a bit.
Yeah, I think that is Snap's favorite hero in the game, if I remember right, talking to him. And let's see what we got for bans. I think the bans are always probably the most interesting in this particular league, and looks like they are fairly interesting in my mind, as I don't think some of the heroes are very good. Not a fan of Spectre, not a fan of Anti-Mage, and I think AA first pick is kind of super crazy. On the flip side, we have the Chaos Knight, which, man, that's another hero that I'm just surprised about ban of. But, you know, I guess if you're not going a lot of AoE, it's just a hero that's pretty popular and just get it out of the pool. LSC are going to have all of the control they want, though. What was that 3 stuns just from the support plus the Chronosphere? I mean, that could be a game changer in more than one way.
Yeah, I like the combo of those two supports. They can do well to protect the carry and lane, and those two are really good for smoking up and gank with how many stuns they have between the two of them.
I think Rubik for me is like the juggernaut of hero or of supports. He's never very rarely a bad pick, and he's usually a pretty good pick. And I think especially since the way they changed his aura, if you can line up the amplification with a finger, it's pretty good, especially against a hero like Viper. Basically nullifies his armor from magic. But that is a toxic hero, though. Ugh. Viper. Ugh.
Viper is indeed a toxic hero. Their Peace and Love is going a pretty tanky team there. All Night Stalker, Axe, and Viper are all pretty tanky heroes.
Yeah, there's a lot of tank there. No doubt about that at all. Yeah, LSC. I mean, I know they're very good at Void and they execute him well, but he doesn't do a lot of damage to start out with. Neither does Sniper. And Peace and Love do have a decent push strat, especially if they Lycan banned. Oh, I would love to see a Lycan on Peace and Love.
Yeah, I think that would be really good.
Yeah.
And then they can just group up early and push towers, and I don't know if LSC would be able to do anything just with.
No,
you need at least a couple items on both Void and Sniper before they're putting damage out.
Yeah, I think they would be in a bit of trouble if that is what the way they end up going. We'll find out here in a sec. Their last pick is coming up. As I say that, they have a whole minute and 30 seconds left, so it's not as dramatic as I hoped. We are
leaving most of their reserve time for this last pick.
We do have brand new streaming settings tonight, and just checking that out, making sure it's looking good for all you guys out there. Looks very pretty. Our ISP finally increased our bandwidth, so we're able to cast at 60 frames a second. Oh, just beautiful. Nice, crisp, clean. For all you fans of amateur Dota, and I know there's a decent amount of you out there. Oh, they went up to the Life Stealer. So we both agreed the Lycan would have been, I think, a great pick. Where would you put the Lifestealer from great to poor?
Uh, Somewhere in the middle, I guess, because I mean he's gonna have to get up onto the sniper and clinks, and he's gonna have a hard time doing that. But then again, if you can get into the axe and get right on top of him, you're gonna blow up either of those heroes real quick.
Yeah, I would agree with that assessment too. He's decent at tower hitting. Viper will be there to back him up. Same with Axe. It's not bad. If he gets caught, I think he's done. Versus a Lycan, just can casually walk away, except for the Chronosphere essentially. So, yeah, I think it's a pretty good draft from Peace and Love. I like it a lot. I still think my only critique I'd say the Lycan I think would have been I think that would have been an almost perfect draft. LSC, they love them some Clinks, and I'm just not a fan of Clinks.
I'm not either.
I think if I had to rank the two carries, I would definitely put Lifestealer above the Clinks. Snap does play a pretty good Clinks, and he's very aware of the hero and how it works, but I think that would be my only caveat for them. Wow, I can't move my camera at all.
I cannot either.
That's not good.
Legion, can you move your camera at all?
Yeah, I got control of mine, and it looks like somebody's moving theirs.
Weird. Okay, so
I'm stuck on the middle.
I'm gonna put it to the title screen here for a second and see what I can do here.
I don't know how to change that.
Boy, I hope the patch didn't break something.
Try disconnect and reconnect.
Yep, I'm doing that right now. Sorry everybody watching. We actually have a pretty good crew on the channel right now. We're gonna, worst case, we will try to find it in the ticket and we'll watch it from there. Not optimal by any means, but...
Well, my camera works. I can just switch over.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do that too. Okay, that seemed to fix mine, Maniac.
Did you just close out completely?
Yep.
Okay.
I did have to switch in my camera, my casting settings anyways, so it worked out alright. Alright, we are back. No major things happened. Ages Warren actually got the bounty rune. I think that's a little interesting.
No invasion.
Boy, that scared me for a second. I know they did have problems with the casts right when the patch dropped, so it's like, I don't think Valve's going to listen to us, so if there was a problem, I think we were going to be in big trouble.
Yep, fix it for me too.
Alright, good. So, game is up. We got the lanes kind of establishing over here. Looks like dual, single. Kind of classic dual lanes, which is kind of a sight for sore eyes. Don't see that too often anymore. Don't really have the best roamers either, so probably not a lot of rotations. Maybe every once in a while, Rubric's an okay roamer. But not much. Not much action going on either. I kind of suspect we're going to see pretty light action to begin with. Lifestealer's got Rage, Ziggity's got his Time Walk. Axe is just a tank. Now, honestly, Night Stalker's kind of a tank too. Probably not until first night, I would imagine. We're not probably going to see a ton.
No, probably not a whole lot, because I think if you rotate any sports, you're going to have to take both of them, and with them being in different lanes, it's going to be pretty obvious.
Yeah. Yeah, might have I could see Sniper maybe trying to get a little aggressive on our friend Sniper being played by Captain Tar. Wow. Legion rolling stats tonight for us. He is quite good at finding those unique bits of trivia. Oh, maybe he'll pull up some trivia, and me and Maniac can see how terrible I am at Dota trivia. I don't know. We'll see what
We are seeing a rotation already on Viper mid. With
Oh,
they did get the kill there, but
wow.
I think it was kind of a mistake to manage right now.
I
It was kind of
totally
risky.
agree. That was.
I think you need to just right-click him there. Make sure you get him down sooner.
Was he thinking like?
I guess the mana drain does slow now, but I don't know if it's enough to matter.
Oh, that's right. How it's 14% movement. That's actually pretty, man. That's actually pretty good for level 1 now. Is that sniper
Yeah,
effect,
so
that circle, has that always been there? Or is that new?
I think that's new.
Okay. It's kind of nice too.
It is. Gives you a little chance to see where you have to walk around, where before you
Yeah.
think you're around it.
Because I will admit, there's times where I think I'm out of it, and I'm definitely not, and then I die. Usually, like, just not paying attention to the health, which is definitely, you know, my fault, but...
Starting out pretty even on the last hits across the board.
Yeah, no kidding. Actually, you could say Klinks is probably struggling the most. Only 8 CS. Ziggity's actually right on top of him. Sniper just doing work on this Viper, though. Viper not getting much action. Did go down once already. Tar did get the first blood for that, too. That was one thing I wasn't sure on. So it is first night. Definitely going to have the Night Stalker roaming around. Oh, wow. Some pretty good damage on Axe here. Axe is going to call to get rid of that mana drain, and now Ageworn is in a decent amount of trouble. He is probably going to go down. Here comes the Axe, knocks that blade down, tries to get a stun off. No good. Distant Echo is actually on the Rubik, comes in here, pops the dust, thinking... Or actually, that was the Dire Dust. I think that was a interesting dust. I wasn't really sure what that was. I was like, man, did LSC accidentally pop the dust? No. It's like, what?
That was a really good silence on the part of the Night Stalker, though, because the Lion turned around to stun, and right as he was casting it, he got silent.
Looks like
Probably
Lion
saved that
came
kill.
up and did some damage to the Lifestealer top. 1-1 so far. 5 minutes into the game. Less than 1k net worth difference. Very close game so far. I don't know if we've actually seen this team play LSC. If any of you guys out there watching don't know, we typically follow LSC throughout the AD2l, and then we also have sometimes cast Team Blue and Book of Mormon if LSC are out or on different matches.
Night Stalker's getting ready to put on the sniper if he overextends a little bit.
Oh, looks like
nobody's actually
rotation
keeping
coming
out.
up top. Does he have a smoke? No smoke, just dust. They're looking like they want to go on Ziggity here, but he is well aware of what's going on. There are some trees eating away up there, so I'm pretty sure he can see Shadow Shaman move up on him.
Yeah, and Shadow Shaman only has Shackles, so that's got a shorter range than the Hexes, so he's got to get pretty close.
Who does end up getting it? They're going to have a silence as well. Is it good timing? Ziggy going to wand up and get smacked down by that Lifestealer. Just not quite enough to get a time walk off.
Yeah, that 5-second silence is pretty darn good at 6 minutes of the game.
Oh, I didn't realize that was a... Wow, that's a long time. Oof. That's forever in Dota, like 5 seconds. It's actually more action than I expected. I kind of expected nothing till night, and already 3 kills in. Lifestealer actually raged in already. Took a ton of damage. Rubik's coming in, gonna throw down. Not quite get those stuns lined up as well as they probably liked, and that is gonna be that unless Ziggity gets a really lucky bash. But he does not get the bash he was hoping for. Nice start.
Yeah, maybe on that kill if they would have stacked those stuns a little better. Might have been some miscommunication on who was going to stun first.
Yeah, it kind of looked like they almost stunned at the exact same time. I think the Impale has a slightly longer range, so makes it a little bit sometimes tougher from communication standpoint when the two stuns have such different ranges from each other.
I have actually seen the switch into try versus try.
A lot more action for us. Looks like Ages were actually probably going to get caught out here. Does get shackled up, but the pounce takes care of him. Oh, Ages almost gets out of that. Now Ziggity wasn't quite focusing his attacks, and now the Lifestealer will just casually walk away with fairly low health. I think if Ziggity would have went for the Lifestealer there, I think they had that. Aegis Warren comes back up in the top lane, throws down a nice stun. However, his friend Rubric already left, so no follow-up stuns will be there.
The Sniper's doing really well mid. 15 last out of the Viper.
Wow, yeah, no kidding. Almost hitting that coveted 50 CS in 10 minutes. I know that's only poor for pros, but it is quite good in this league. I know I'm pretty psyched when I get that much. And the two carries are significantly, they're definitely not going to be hitting that 50 mark. Wow, Tar's going to probably approach 20 CS above the Viper. Very good position from him.
He's doing a really good job last hitting, and when the lane pushes under, dipping into that jungle, continuing as he gets some farm.
I think that's really important, especially when you're going up against a hero like Viper, because he can just bully you out of lane so easily. Being able to kind of realize when you should be in lane and when you should be out of it. Pings do go mid lane. I don't know. Couldn't tell if it was coming for Dire or not, but they were. I think if it was, they were probably looking for tower. Sniper, super vulnerable hero. Doesn't have any saving mechanisms. Very easy to gank.
Yeah, and with that Night Stalker and his slow, even if it's not night, he can still usually slow him enough to that Viper would be able to take him down.
Do have a smoke coming bottom lane. Night Stalker wants to see if he can get something done on this Clinks. Has lots of dust. If they get a good stack of everything, they might be able to get it, but Clinks is being a little bit cautious. Oh, and then Tar just man fights the Viper. Takes him out all by himself. Honestly, like, I don't think the Clinks is the problem at this point. I think Peace and Love need to do some work on this Sniper. Way easier hero to kill, and he's going to be... I mean, at 10 minutes and 30 seconds, he's at 62 CS. This guy is literally out of control. Looks like Tar's changing up his build. He was going for that Force Staff, but since he's gotten zero pressure, I think he's going to go for a Maelstrom instead. I don't think that's actually a bad idea at all.
No, I think that's really smart. It'll give him some attack speed, some damage, and help him farm faster, so it'll help him all around team fight and farm better, which he kind of needs that damage early on.
Oh, look at this. Aegis Warren getting a little stack on here. I don't know if everyone saw the patch notes, but Ice Frog activated socialism across from Dota. If a support stacks a camp and a core farms it, or I guess anybody, it doesn't have to be a core, but probably a core is going to farm Ancients, the support gets 15% of the bounty, so helping those poor supports out.
Seen a lot of support helping updates recently between reducing couriers and wards and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, as a support player, I love it, but honestly, I think it's just good for Dota in general. Everyone wants to be that core player, and I think as everyone knows, there aren't very many good ones out there, and so kind of can ruin pub games. You can only do so much, even if you're a really good support hero. Semi-off subject, but I've always thought a fun series would be like taking one of the pro supports and like putting him with, like, you know, a Crusader or a Herald or something like that, and just see how much you can carry with a pro support.
Probably more than you think.
Oh, I'm sure you could, but I just think it'd be hilarious. Maybe even put criteria. You can't go for the kills or something like that. Looks like we're going to have some pretty good push top lane. Leicester's actually going to rage in here. I'm not sure if this is where he wants to be. Captain Tar is here, and man, he wants some action. He is going to fire his ult at... Oh, sick smoke play.
Another good silence by Night Stalker, because he silenced that Void who had his ult, and he could have put all 3 of them down there, which would have been devastating for him.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, it was a pretty good fight over there for... I thought that was going to go a lot worse for Peace and Love. Got really aggressive there, and they did not get punished near as hard as I thought they would. Another smoke from Peace and Love. I think that's probably all their smokes. Come up here. Axe has got his blink. Snapped is in all sorts of problems. Gonna shackle up, silence him up, and chop his head off. Snap goes to the grave. And another kill for Peace and Love. 2-4. Peace and Love. Just edging ahead of the net worth charts.
It's a good use of the first blink, showing of the blink. It's always good when you get one of those big items like that on someone to go initiate before they can scout it out.
Ooh, looks like they want more.
Might get
Captain
sniper
Tar isn't aware this blink is online. Oh, I don't know what the Axe was doing there, but totally messes up his call. Now the supports are going to come in and have to try to help clean up, see if they can get this kill on Captain Tar, but Snapped is here. Looks like he's going to see if he can pick off this Axe, and he definitely will. Axe is going to fall. If they're lucky, they're only going to lose an Axe, but Ziggity's here. Oh, it just clips the edge of the Chronosphere. Does end up getting a couple of his friends, but I don't think it matters. Aegisworn is tired of that Night Stalker, fingers him down. Night Stalker falls to the grave, and now LSE are all teamed up, and I'm guessing they're going to want to see if they can try to get a push going mid. But I could be completely wrong, and it looks like I am. Dang it! Ah, fail.
Does have his Maelstrom now. And go back for that Hurricane Pike next, which is going to be really good against these heroes that on Peace and Love, especially the Life Stealer.
Looks like they're going to probably get Ziggity and this tower. Oh, nice grab from Rubik. Comes in there, actually has to throw down the ult again. Rubik does not have his ult though, but Captain Tar is here. Ends up getting caught out by the Axe. Lifesteal is going to come back and try to get the Ziggity. Now Rubik is all by himself. He has no friends and I would say likely no hope. His head will be ripped off. Captain Tar and Rubik go down. Peace and Love edge out ahead of that fight. But Snap does end up claiming that tier 1 bottom for LSC, giving them the slight edge. Oh, I guess, well, I don't know if that recap counts that tower. I think it's a little bit closer than that.
It's good rotation by Axe, actually.
Aegisworn is
probably
in
saved
deep trouble. Peace and Love do not care about these tier 1 towers. They do so little damage in general. Looks like they want to start getting some pushing on, which is kind of where their draft is kind of famous for. Rubik just gets caught out in between these tier 1 and tier 2 towers mid. This Axe is actually doing a ton of work right now.
Yeah, they got some really good tanky and good damage pickoff heroes for the pretty overall squishy LSC.
Yeah, very squishy. I mean, you can kind of say Void's a little tanky, but it's mostly just because he can get rid of damage, not that he can take all that damage. Heard a Life Stealer going on something, but I think it was just an ancient. Yep, it was. So this is the part I don't really like about Clinks, is he roams a lot, because that's what he does really well. I mean, he's an excellent roaming hero. Ooh.
Oh, we can get the courier.
Is he going to go for it?
Oh.
Oh, now Snapped has a decision. It's paused. So, Maniac, you're Snapped. You're Clinks.
I think I strafe, hit the courier, and then hit the Life Stealer.
Do we had a range of how far? I don't know what his range is on his attack. What the horse happens. This is a great example of what the
What
horse.
the horse happens.
We have A, Snap kills the courier. B, Snap goes on the lifestealer. Or C, nothing happens and Snap just walks away. And choice goes for the courier. Oh, ends up getting and runs away. No hero, no courier
It's an
items.
extra. It was probably smart. He had rage and could have ran and hidden creeper. Axe was over there, so.
Yeah, I think he made definitely the best call. Oh wow!
Oh, great scan.
Wow, no kidding. That's a clutch scan over there. That Dota sense was just tingling. He's gonna come and drop the wards. Nope, doesn't want to. What's Tar at for a build right now? He's got. Looks like he's gonna pick up that 4 staff. Got most of it done. Peace and Love, slightly edging out on the net worth, but as the game progresses, they will get a little bit weaker. This sniper is going to do just a ton of work for LSC. Very difficult for Peace and Love to get on them.
Smoke actually breaks for LSC after that Night Stalker picks up the invis. So Smoke evaded.
Probably unfortunate. I mean, no reason to have a reveal, so unless you have a sentry ward. That's the one thing I really like doing with it. I think we see another smoke. Yes, we do. Axe and Shadow Shaman roaming around. They're going to probably see somebody. Who they're going to see? They're going to see LCL grouping up in this tier 1. What happens? Axe comes in, gets a single call up on Rubik. Rubik's going to have to right-click Axe down. Blade Mail does get activated. Oh! But Axe ends up not getting his ults off, and Rubik does end up going down, but it took him a while to get there. Now Shadow Shaman and Axe are followed. Ziggity comes in there with the Chronosphere and takes him out. And now Captain Tar is getting smacked down by the Lifestealer, but that rage is now over. And Lifestealer is extremely exposed, and he's going to have to get beat down by pretty much the whole squad of LSC. Tar may be low, but he definitely outranges those wards. And, oh, looks like he's going to give the gold to his friend Snapped. Oh, what a nice friend.
Looked like he was going to be pretty big for Peace and Love, and actually ended up being all LSC there.
Yeah, they got the Rubik really fast, but it took him a long time to get the Rubik kill and then move on to another kill. Rubik did a really good job of positioning himself kind of away from his team, so they kind of blew their initiation on him, and then they couldn't really get on any of their LSC heroes, which is something we kind of talked about in the draft too, right? I mean, LSC have really good heroes that just kind of sit back and do their thing. Especially the sniper. Without Axe, how are you going to get on him? Dragonlance is up on Viper, but without the Force Staff to accompany it, I think LSC is just going to be pretty happy with Sniper just sitting in the back, using the supports to stun any heroes that go on him.
Snap tries to get the Shadow Shaman, can't quite get him. That's another reason I don't really like the Clinks this game, is because you want to run around and like pick people off, and there's only one really decent like pick off hero. Like everyone else is pretty tanky, and it's hard to do that too.
Yeah, and you kind of need the Orchid to do that too, right? I mean, you go up on Shadow Shaman, he stuns you.
Yeah.
And probably don't die from it, but you know, your team could rotate on him too, so. LSC getting some good tower pickoffs. All their tier 1s are claimed on the side of Peace and Love. Looks like they want this tower, and they are going to get it. For a fairly heavy push strat, Peace and Love are losing the tower battle right now.
LC's also got a pretty decent push too, with Sniper being able to stand super far back with all his range, and then Klink's just decimating towers with strafe, and he's got his deso and stuff, so.
Snap starts cleaning up some more farm. Let's actually move over to the net worth chart, something I haven't done in a little while. Sniper is definitely taking a commanding lead, over 1,000 net K over anyone else.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting choice to sit back and farm against the Sniper and Void and the Klinks, because those Sniper and Klinks are going to start putting out huge damage into that Chronosphere here soon.
Oh yeah, big time. I think that's a pretty worrisome maneuver from Peace and Love. I mean, really, that 15 that Blacks had his blink online so fast, right? I mean, that's when they're gonna be just at their strongest now. Looks like they're gonna do the maneuver I was just about to describe. Lifestealer inside of Axe, looking for a pick, maybe even some smoke. They burned a lot of smokes early game though.
This is a game I'd actually like to see the Scepter on Void, because I don't think he needs to do damage in this game. He just needs to put the control on the enemy heroes while the Klinks and Snipers stand back and kill them.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that at all, actually. Wow, even LLC supports are getting pretty farmed. Distant Echo is not, but, you know, that's just Echo. He always takes one for the team. Echo's gonna see if he can come up here and get a little farm. Thought LC were gonna go for a smoke maneuver, but I don't see one on them.
I think it's a great move of LC just dodging like this and farming up though.
Oh, I completely agree. Especially since Klinks he's pretty good on the net worth chart, but I really feel that, you know, without that Orchid, it's really hard for him to do what Klinks does well.
Yeah, and he's almost got that. He's about 100 gold short here. Wow, actually dropping the wards for that. I don't think they needed to do that right there.
No, not for a tier 1. Especially now
Especially with all of them there.
I think they're immediately regretting. Knight actually just expended Ziggity, wishing that he had another time walk. He could probably get a 3-man Chronosphere. Is he gonna get it? Yes, he is! 3-man Chronosphere! All of LSC cores are here. Beautiful freaking impale from the Lion, and now Echo's getting gone on by the Lifestealer. Will end up going down, but now the Lifestealer is... Oh, what a play! Gets hidden in the creep. Peace and Love. Their entire team is gone. That creep, they know they know where he is. He's gonna pop out Ziggity. He's gonna try to go for him. Nice rage. Gets a nut, and the armlet toggle will be enough. Nice play from the Lifestealer in Peace and Love. The only man to survive. Oh man, what a play from LSC. Oh.
Yeah, that was a great chrono, and then the Aegisworn on the Lion coming in and getting a multi-stun.
Unfortunately, the instant replay did not catch the team fight. I was not fast enough, but we do see that excellent armlet toggle from the Lifestealer.
Sniper actually finishes Mjolnir up next.
Boy, Ziggity, he was just so patient in that Chronosphere.
They're killing this Roche pretty quick here too.
Man, this Night Stalker's just struggling to get farm. Only sitting at 3,000. Really trying to get this Solar Crest up online, like Legion mentioned earlier. And man, LSC...
Kind of interesting to see letting the Shadow Shaman kind of prioritize the farm and the Night Stalker buying the wards.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was about to ask you that actually. I wasn't sure if he was buying the wards or what was going on, but I was wondering if it was just because he's naturally less farmy than the Shadow Shaman. I guess they're just saying, hey, if it's night, and then that's when I need you to do stuff. But I don't know. Don't know how I feel about that. I think Night Stalker kind of really succeeds in a 4 slot. That's
Yeah.
that's Sequoia's opinion though, and it's
He could just transition really well into a right clicker.
Oh, they see Tar out there. They see Snapped. Shadow Shaman actually getting some pretty decent vision on LSC. LSC.
They're looking to
Chronosphere
bait
is
this
ready.
out.
Oh no, Peace and Love, you're all gathering together again. Oh no, another two-man Chronosphere. Axe is trying to get in there, but Captain Tar is there just beating that Axe down, not letting him get a blink off, and now Axe will fall. Lifestealer's going to see what he can do, but he is getting kited the bejesus out of. There is nothing he can do. Finger will take him out. That's a 5-man team wipe for LSC. And now LSC are going to start pile driving down mid, and I don't think there's anything Peace and Love can do about this now. They are getting too far behind. 10K back.
I think that's the problem with the Peace and Love draft is the Axe couldn't blink in on there was a big group, but with all the range that LSC has, he couldn't blink in, so that Lifestealer couldn't get up close, and he just got kited. He had no way to get in there.
I will say, I think Snapped and Tar played that team fight almost to perfection. Not protection. Perfection. They were really focused on protecting that them and their other supports from that Axe drop. Axe tried to get in there. He tried to stay far back, but the range, like you said, the range on these LSC cores is just too great. He couldn't get in the position he needed, and when you drop the Lifestealer in the middle of a freaking team fight, it is not going to end up very well for you, and that's exactly what we saw.
Dire's bottom shrine has fallen.
Or does have that Aegis still, so they can just kind of group up and push if they want to. Maybe wait 30 seconds for this chrono and then go so that you can get another big team fight.
I will have to say, my friend Disneko here, he's officially above the two supports from Peace and Love. The sixth spot Echo is doing quite well on his farm now.
Got his dagger now. Lots of movement, ability to move throughout team fights between the blink daggers on them, the time walk, the hurricane pike, the invis.
Yeah, it's just really hard for that time. This is where, like, we already talked about this twice now, but I just think the Lycan could have done so much more. Instead of taking these team fights, which I don't think your draft really shines in, right? I mean, LSC's draft is pretty good for a team fight. I don't think there's any arguing that, but this is where the Lycan would have shined. You don't take team fights. You just pick off towers.
Yeah.
He's so freaking fast. Like,
and I think with that fast blink dagger by the Axe, and they were picking off people quick, like they could have just kept him and Night Stalker behind doing what they were doing, and then just having that Lycan take down towers.
Yep. But unfortunately, they did not go for the Lycan, and now, as the game goes on later, their draft is going to get much weaker. Snapped actually is, oh god, he's got his Bloodthorn up.
Yeah, I think you're kind of past your main window for Peace and Love here.
Yeah, I mean, their cores are just so underfarmed. I mean, Lifestealer's top of their net worth, and he's 6,000 behind Tar. And Tar's about to go double what Viper is in his own role, so this snap.
Just look at that tower.
Oh, God. It's a little unfortunate too. I think Peace and Love's draft actually had pretty high potential minus the last pick. It just kind of shows you that, you only have 5 players in Dota, and in one pick that just ends up not, maybe you didn't predict the range.
They just spotted out.
No, here comes the Axe. He gets brought down. He is going to be broken up, hexed up. He is not getting out of this. Here comes the pain from Snapped. They are going to end up getting the... Oh, it actually got Ziggity in the end. No Chronosphere. It's actually probably the best fight they can ask for. They end up taking a pretty large bounty for that, too. But
yeah, I think the Night Stalker got the silence off right as he went to chrono him.
But I don't know if it's going to matter in the long run. This is definitely a dead tower. Oh, Aegis Ward comes in there, doesn't really care, and here comes the ult from Tar, takes him out, and now the light. Oh no! Peace and love!
Oh,
Just go in one at a time. GG is called, and Echo steals the freaking Shadow Shaman ult just to put the cherry on the cake. This game is wrapped up, everybody. LSC take game 1 in this best of 3 series in the AD2l playoffs. Alright, so one thing, since Legion is doing the stats, I would like to have him wrap up this game in a little bow. Legion, can you give us the wrap up?
Yeah, I think you guys covered a lot of it as like the objectives for Peace and Love and like what their lineup wanted to do. They didn't really kind of follow with that. And then on top of that, one thing that I was trying to find like a good way to phrase it in the stat boxes, but the Lifestealers build, it's a very old school style build that actually, if you look at the stats, doesn't win that often anymore. And it's for the reasons that you guys kind of talked about, like the range versus mobility factor. So I think that Peace and Love going to the drawing board next needs to not necessarily ban out Sniper and Clinks, but maybe just take a look at getting more mobile heroes like the Lycan, who was completely ignored in that draft, and he's the highest win rate in all MMR categories over 3K, I believe. Does the most tower damage, and yeah, I think that would have been an better overall pick. But we'll see you going into game 2.
Great. All right, guys. I'm sure just a short break from these guys. We're going to throw it off to our beautiful bumper and then the title screen, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. What a freaking impale! Here it comes! Ah, black hole! Okay, we're moving to the bumper now. Okay, we're back. We just had that was an excellent pub game me and Legion had, and it just felt worthy to show everybody. We are back in this series for LSC versus Peace and Love. AD2l not 14 playoffs. To this round, Legion is going to be taking the hat of the analyst, and Maniac will be running stats. Legion, we were talking about first picks. I think we should probably rehash this conversation because I think it was interesting.
Yeah, we just kind of talked about the strategy behind first pick and first phase picks, and we both kind of, like, you kind of said that you'd like to see like the early offlaner with the support, and I kind of agree. I think that having a core support duo, like, it's not very often that we see this support picks, and we see it from both teams here, which is very interesting.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I think it's pretty safe to say too. They're like 99% of the time going to be your supports too. It's not like it's one of those heroes that could be the support or could be the core. It's very rarely do you see those four heroes not in the support role. And then on the flip side, here comes the offlaners. Just kind
And
of.
it does seem like both teams kind of want to fight here. I know Ziggy has been playing the Magnus quite a decent amount lately, so expecting some kind of melee carry to go along with that. The Juggernaut, the PA, the Life Stealer, something in that category. Pretty likely. Peace and Love comes out with the OD, which I think is a pretty underrated hero. I would expect something either to pair with the Shadow Demon or something that has some lifesteal capabilities, because they banned out the Ancient Apparition in the first phase, which usually signals that you want to go like an Alchemist or a Lifestealer or something to that effect. But so far, maybe it's just a respect ban and saying, hey, we don't want you to have that hero.
Tar in general does like the AA too, I would say, from some of his drafts I've seen lately.
But usually, like,
it's
wouldn't you rather go against the AA than, for example, like the Bounty Hunter or something?
Oh yeah, I would definitely much rather go against the AA than the Bounty Hunter. That's another hero. Like, if you can execute it well, I think the Bounty Hunter's a really good hero. It's kind of tough to execute it well, I would say. I mean, you kind of have to have a good understanding of what you're gonna do. The nice thing about the Bounty Hunter is you can sacrifice towers as long as you can continually get kills, because of the track hold you're going to start bringing into your team. But Peace and Love aren't really going for that really intense push lineup, so still, I don't think it's a bad hero. It's just a little bit different kind of a setup that they'll be going into. That's my favorite part about the Bounty Hunter, though, when you're going in that intense push strat, get the track kills. So yeah, they're getting towers, but as long as you're getting a few heroes, you're kind of keeping up in gold, so you can kind of take that fight into the mid game.
And there's that melee core I was talking about, the PA, even
Yeah.
in the list of 3 heroes. Not too big of a surprise, honestly, but it's a pretty attack-heavy lineup here, so they're going to need a mid-hero for Tar. Tinker out of the pool, which I don't think Tinker necessarily fits in this draft very well anyway. They self-banned the Sniper. I could see Queen of Pain being pretty good here. Good synergy with the Magnus. They need something to go up against the OD, which is going to be a tough laning matchup for whoever they decide to throw in there.
Oh.
They could choose to go Viper them.
Yeah, they actually banned. Yeah, they banned the Viper. I was just about to say.
Oh, they banned the Viper.
Yeah, LSC banned the Viper out. I don't know. I mean, beyond like us hating Viper, is Viper really good, or is he just an annoying hero? Is he as good as is now the meta's kind of settling down, or is he kind of fading off and just more of that annoying hero that happens to be annoying some games, but probably not worth a high priority anymore?
I don't think Viper has really changed, right? Like, I don't think that he got especially broken or especially like more powerful with the patches. It was just like he fit in a little bit better. It's like, I don't really know necessarily that he's done that anything's happened to him. I think Viper is the hero that he's kind of always been. Um, he's kind of an annoying lane presence that has a good break capability. So I mean, honestly, Peace and Love could think about picking him up here. They need something to either pick up an MKB or to break
Radiant team
the PA's evasion somehow. Oh Zeus, I should have known that.
That's a good pick. I like LSC's draft.
Well, and it's an obvious pick. It's something that we've seen them do a lot. And Zeus, if you look at pretty much any metric on like
10
Dota buff,
seconds remaining.
is one of the top picked heroes in all of Dota
5
right now.
seconds
He's
remaining.
also does the most hero damage per minute of any hero in Dota right now.
So
So,
what's
uh,
so good about Zeus? I mean, he doesn't. Is it just the amount of pure raw damage that he outputs?
I mean, that's part of it, but it's like his ability to farm is so much greater than most heroes. And he can pick up those items, those big game-changing items, much faster than other mid heroes can. So like he's picking up an Aghanims and like a refresher, for example, at the time where most mid heroes are just picking up their like first tier 2 item. So I think it's about the speed of the game, much like we talk about that a lot. How the speed of the game is very important.
Yeah, I think picking up a scepter on him too is it is a game changer. And then on top of that, having a refresher is just. I mean, it's so hard to deal with. I mean, that Nimbus just destroys supports, and typically, like you say, he picks it up so fast the supports don't
Now
have.
select your heroes.
Oh. Hmm.
The
Interesting.
anti-mage has a good synergy with the Shadow Demon. I mean, I know generally we don't really care for the hero that much, but if they can protect him for long enough, he might be an okay solution. I'm fairly skeptical about it, mostly because of the Phantom Assassin. Um, he's got the shield protection from Zeus, so that'll help a little bit, but at the same time, PA jumps in there. What's the AM going to actually do about it?
Yeah, and he doesn't, and there's not a lot of control for that PA. I mean, on top of the fact PA naturally picks up a BKB. I mean, maybe a really good Ravage and a pickup from Rubik might be enough for the AM OD to kind of lay down the hammer on Phantom Assassin, but that evasion I think is going to cause OD all sorts of problems.
And maybe the solution is for the OD to pick up the Silver Edge. I mean, he's a decent carrier for it. He's going to do good right-click damage. Maybe not the best for that, but it's a potential solution for sure. Also, with the change to the way that MKB works, it might be a pretty good item for OD, getting that attack speed.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good. I didn't actually think of that until you said that. The Silver Edge is probably definitely the way to go for that OD. You can get the break up on Snapped. I think he might be in a little bit of trouble. Which is not always the case as PAs go. I will say, though, this Shadow Demon set is pretty freaking cool. As I try to show the viewers, and it zooms in on a tree, but pretty freaking neat.
So one thing that I'm really surprised about tonight, and I don't know if it's teams not looking at the changelog or just like they don't want to change up their opening strategy, in tournament games when they've been doing the same thing for a season. But the change to bounty runes really incentivizes trying to get 3. Like,
Oh, good
if
point.
you get 3 bounty runes, it's actually much more valuable than giving away first blood. You can actually give away first blood, which is only 200 gold. If you receive 3 bounties, that's 120 gold for each hero on your team. So you're actually getting 600 gold. So you're getting 3 times the gold, even if you give up first blood, as long as you grab those bounty runes. So I'm kind of surprised to not see any battles over that this game or last game.
It's always funny, like, watching the changelog of what what the Dota team wants you to do, and then having the players decide if they want to do it or not. I always find it kind of interesting. Did see a little bit more stacking last game. I did see some stacking, especially on the ancients. I couldn't really tell how that worked, but I did see a little bit. Echo's gonna be playing the Disruptor.
I think that I read that it's supposed to play a sound.
Okay, I did hear a weird sound once, and I wonder if maybe that's what I heard. Wasn't really sure. So AM is gonna have to have one heck of a game. He is getting all the protection he needs, though. Ziggity actually taking a ton of damage up here from these supports. Rubik, very nice body block, but then gets shoved back in the tower, and now he's going to take quite a few tower pops. Not going to die, but
very close.
Very close. On top of, I think it drug the creeps quite a ways back, too. Sneeze right in the middle of that little engagement, and I wasn't sure if I was actually going to be able to see the camera or not.
So kind of an interesting item pickup for LSC is that Snapped actually elected to go for an Orb of Venom.
Oh, interesting. Guess it kind of makes sense that they don't... Well, I guess they have Bounty Hunter, though. He also has an Orb of Venom. Just maybe thinking the Bounty Hunter is going to be in other lanes, maybe? He is going to actually be roaming over here. OD must know he's around, though. Not going anywhere back to the lane.
It's one of those things as a mid hero that you're very aware of. The second that somebody's like, oh, Bounty Hunter hasn't been seen in a while, you're like, oh, I guess I'm standing next to my tower for the next 5 minutes. Especially since he doesn't have... Okay, now he does have a sentry, and the Shadow Demon actually eats the other one. So he's got 2 wards now. He's going to be able to spot out quite a bit of movement. Always very comforting is that that mid lane player. You want to be able to see as much as you can. Like, being just shoved in dark into a lane is much scarier as the mid lane player than as a side lane player, because people can come at you from... all kinds of different directions. So that vision is very important. AM took a ton of damage in the middle of that. I mean, he does have a lot of his regen left, but actually he had all of it left. But still trades a lot of hits there with the Bounty Hunter and Tide.
Another thing I'd say about mid, too, is I think it's more optimal to smoke on mid, because of the attack vectors you can go. And so just having that vision, knowing where people are, maybe getting lucky and seeing a smoke pop in, I think it's pretty valuable. Disruptor versus Shadow Demon, going to be an intense battle of silly abilities. Uh-oh. Echo's in all sorts of trouble now, tries to get the glimpse, but is not going to be successful. Tidehunter claims the kill and first blood. Pretty good for a Tidehunter. Especially a solo Tidehunter. How's Ziggity doing so far? Ooh, 5 and 5. He's pretty far down. Not a whole lot worse than Tidehunter, though, but Tidehunter did get that first blood, so helps him out significantly. Actually surprised the Tidehunter's not doing better with the Anchor Smash to the Phantom Assassin. Does opt to get maximum magic wand. Helps mitigate some of that damage from the PA's stifling dagger.
Well, I think the damage that you're more worried about in this situation is that stupid Thunder Strike. Like, that magic damage just cutting through a lot of the armor that he's got.
Thunderstrike, what a good ability.
Level 1, it's good. Later in the game, it's not so great, but in terms of damage.
But yeah,
In terms of vision.
As I say, I think my favorite part about that ability is just the damage, or the vision it supplies.
Peace and Love doing a lot of this jungle stuff, stacking camps, pulling, like, leaving the AM alone at times. And I've talked to Maniac about this. That's fine in theory, but there are times when you feel like that sacrificial carry, where it's like nobody's in my lane, struggling a little bit, and he's definitely top of the net worth, but whenever there's two heroes in your lane, you kind of want a little bit of a moral support, if nothing else.
Yeah, especially AM too. I mean, he's got blank, but typically doesn't have it insanely high leveled for quite a while. Looks like we do have some action going up on Ziggity over here. Probably just gonna charge out. Yep. Does see? Actually, Rubik's gonna get some pretty decent body blocks in. Rubik really showing that he can body block when needed, and Ziggity gonna get knocked down to about 25% HP. Ooh, and AM even gets the last hit. Nice and efficient. I think he only lost maybe 1 or 2 CS. Does have his Mana Void available.
Interestingly, Shadow Demon has Aghanims queued up already. So going for Mana Boots into Ags, apparently.
Wow.
As he will save the courier from Aegis Worn.
Is he? Maybe he's the philosophy like, yeah, they're probably gonna get BKBs, and this way we can maintain the control. Like,
I mean, Purge is ridiculously good. Like, it is such a good spell. Like, it's 400 damage. You get 3 of them. It removes all positive buffs. It slows. I mean, it's a very, very, very good ability. It's just odd that you see, like, the support trying to queue something like that up. Like, how long is it going to take him to get that? And is a Force Staff or a Glimmer Cape going to be more valuable? I would argue that almost certainly for a support Shadow Demon, they are going to be more valuable.
Yeah, especially with the lineup. If last month, what? Oh my gosh! All right, folks, not in your pubs. Glimmer Cape Force Staff.
I mean, it depends on the role, right? Like, if you're the 5 support Shadow Demon, you should probably not be rushing Aghanims. If you're playing as Aegis Worn picks up a kill in the bottom lane, if you're playing like a 3-spot or a 2-spot even Shadow Demon, which is a thing, not a popular thing, but it is a thing, then yeah, like, by all means, go for a crazy big item like that, because you're getting tons of farm. So I think a lot of times some of those win rates, because I looked at a couple in the last game, like Shadow Shaman was building a Ghost Scepter, and it had like a 67% win rate or something like that. So sometimes those win rates are, our team is like so far ahead that we're just going to buy this thing and it doesn't matter. But I still think it's interesting. 62% or 60-something% win rate on Aghanims. Very good, as Echo is dead. Unfortunately, Shadow Demon puts himself into the alternate dimension. Tar rotates in, as does Aegis Worn. They want to go after this kill. They're pinging after the Shadow Demon. And, the Lightning Bolt will catch him. I don't know. They had vision of him. They pinged that he was going over in that direction, but not really sure how. Must have just been daytime vision.
Yeah, it was pretty good vision from LSC there. Like I said, I don't know how they saw that either, but pretty nice pick off considering.
Although, you lost a hero, forced 2 TPs for a Shadow Demon. Like, I think that's probably a win for Peace and Love.
Yeah, it was a very good maneuver for them both to head opposite directions, too. I think that was definitely the play. Shadow Demon would have followed him. Maybe they could have potentially gone on someone else. Shadow Demon is having a pretty good game. Actually gets a nice blast up on Aegis Worm here. Aegis Worm's going to take a ton of damage from this AM. And, oh, doesn't quite get the Mana Void. He'll get the Bounty Ruin, though, and probably... actually, RP is committed, but ends up not hitting AM? I don't know where he went, though.
He blinked.
Oh,
to
there
the
he
south.
is. Okay, wow. I totally lost vision of the camera there for a second, and all I saw was nothing. So that was pretty crazy. Did
Yeah,
he
the
commit?
AM
Yeah.
lost vision, and Ziggy just kind of whiffing, just barely, but just whiffing by a little bit on the AM blink there. The one thing that I will criticize this the Shadow Demon for, oh, he's got it now. I think Shadow Poison is the best early game ability that Shadow Demon possesses. You know, yeah, Soul Catcher does crazy amounts of damage if you can land it on an isolated target, and Disruption is very good, especially level 1. But people don't track, especially at like mid to lower levels. People don't track stacks very well, and you get 5-6 stacks on a hero, and they're just gonna die.
Keep missing all these kills up here on this top lane. Now I think this Shadow Demon is gonna. Oh, we're gonna come in. Gonna fire off some blasts, and apparently Snap is gonna live.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, I thought he saw that bounty hunter. I was just about to ask where is the sentry ward, but nope. Just kind of hesitated for a Shadow Poison there. Ooh, bounty hunter's actually gonna get some decent bat.
One thing for LSE to be concerned about is the amount of gold that Snapped is behind the anti-mage. I mean, it's 1,000 on the map on the screen as it is right now, but the anti-mage is only 500 gold away from his Battle Fury, and the second that he gets that, his farm is going to escalate exponentially as he gets driven back into the tower. Tar is here to throw out a lightning bolt and a chain lightning. I don't think they're going to be able to get this. No way, no how.
Ooh.
Anti-mage actually blinks aggressively. I don't think he expected Tar to be there. But all the same, there'll be 2 ships passing in the night. But as soon as this anti-mage gets Battle Fury, his farm is going to skyrocket. And PA is quite far away from hers.
Oh, nice dodging the glimpse with the Shadow Demon there. Oh, doesn't get the crit, so he's going to live. Oh, but
No, he's not.
Tar. You can't run from heaven, Shadow Demon. You just can't run from heaven. And Tar.
And
ends
he
up
actually
hitting him.
picks up the OD in the mid lane as well.
Oh, I don't think Rubik's going to see it. Not quite fast enough. Tar, too fast on the TP.
This Hour Devour actually picking up a Rod of Atos first item. Very interesting. I would be curious to talk to the OD and see what the line of reasoning is there, because it doesn't really
Middle tower is under attack.
offer him what OD traditionally wants, which is intelligence. At least not much intelligence.
Yeah, I guess it gives him a little HP, and it's able to keep the PA kind of tied down, but I think there's better items, isn't there? Especially for
You get a Hurricane Pike
Hurricane
that's going to
Pike,
give
yeah.
you HP and distance and mana. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not criticizing. I just would like to know what the thinking is, because it does do similar things, but it doesn't provide mobility. It provides catch. So who are they trying to catch? Bounty Hunter potentially, so that he can't go invisible.
AM
Maybe
does have his
the
Battle
PA.
Fury up online.
Yeah, who all of a sudden PA has 2 of the 3 or 3 of the 4 components for Battle Fury, so maybe not quite as far behind the AM as I initially thought.
Oof.
Although he is going to be able to farm for probably a solid minute or 2 here before she gets hers, so something to keep an eye on.
Who wins that farming battle, PA or AM?
I think it just kind of depends on who gets there first. Probably the anti-mage, I would say. But oh goodness, as the PA blinks in there and just deletes the Rubik, and now Shadow Demon, he's gonna go as well. Ravage is thrown out there. Snaps is going low. Will die to the Shadow Demon damage there. The Purge proccing out at the very end. So it is a 2 for 2. 2 supports for a support and a core. But now here comes Rubik back into the fight. He's going to pick up another kill. The toss. Oh, and the stolen RP.
The steal RP.
But it's not enough. He still will fall. So that ends up being a 4 for 3. The fight recap shows LSE is having a major advantage, and that's not even including the second kill on the rubric that happened. So great fight for them. Good rotations.
Pretty fun fight too. Some good abilities used there. Tide actually almost got out without being tracked. His Kraken Shell procced, but then Bounty Hunter was fast enough to get the track back on before he was able to get behind the trees. Snaps getting gone on by this
Blink
Tide
is
Hunter.
up on the Tide Hunter.
Can I get the shadow?
They do have a Purge available. There it goes.
Ooh. There's gonna be all sorts of damage coming out here. Nice Force Staff from Tar. Yep, Tar gets nice Force Staff. They're really doing a good job on keeping Snap from getting his Battle Fury, giving AM as much time as possible to farm. He is starting to pull away in terms of farm. It's almost 8,000. PA is just about to hit 6,000. I'd say Zeus is doing a really good job on farming. Did opt to go Kaya Force Staff on Zeus. Gives him a little bit of extra damage and ability to pump out his abilities. Siggity gonna charge away and on top of the fact. Ooh, OD. Takes a decent chunk of damage there. Bounty Hunter's now here, now gonna get a really nice toss off, and there goes the Rubik. Would have been glimpsed back and murdered either way. Tar picks off another kill. These supports from Peace and Love. Oh, Tide comes out here and just beats the crap out of the Disruptor. Tar is gonna get a nice Force Staff, pushes the Root further away. I did not realize you could still Force Staff with Root. That's pretty good to know, actually. Now Aegis Warren going to take some damage, but he should just walk away from this one. It's been in actually quite a bit of this action. 1-1 and 7 up on the Bounty Hunter. And LSC looks like they want to see if they get some more action in. Tide Hunter ends up picking up the haste. He is tracked, so they're going to have full vision of this. Tries to walk up here. Tide just running around like a maniac, sitting in the back line here. I think they thought they saw Bounty Hunter, but I don't think he's anywhere near to be found. Yeah, he's back at base. Siggity has his blink online. RP is available. It's a really nice blink Ravage from Tide Hunter. Tide Hunter's actually getting a lot done. Sitting 225. Been on every kill for Peace and Love so far.
PA does have the Battle Fury done, but you can see that the Anti-Mage has already picked up his Yasha since he got his, and he is driving that net worth advantage further. He was about 1,000 gold ahead when he picked it up, 3,000 ahead now, so you just kind of see what Anti-Mage with a little bit of space and some good early game farm can do. He's got over 200 CS already.
Wow. 200 CS for 19 minutes is pretty freaking good. And I'm assuming he's going Manta. Almost freaking has it. This is I'm not sure. Like, I think this is exactly what Peace and Love want, right? I mean, can they ask for any more?
I mean, the OD could be doing better. I mean, I'm sure he would like to have a little bit more than he does, and he's going back for the Force Staff now, recognizing that he does need the mobility.
I think the only thing I'm not a big fan on Peace and Love, beyond the OD maybe
As
having a little bit more
OD's
farm.
going to get forced back here, the banish does come out onto Ziggy. Then he will get lifted and tossed back. OD comes out of the prison, throws out the root, but it's a lot of abilities and a lot of items used for nothing.
So one other thing I was gonna say with Tidehunter, he's going for the mech. I'm just not the biggest fan of this. Oh, misses on the Atos grab. Oh, nice skewer from the Rubik. Tries to get away, but ends up not going to be able to get out of this. I think the Shadow Demon is probably going to go down. Nice Ravage going to isolate that PA. OD ult does come down. The hammer is dropped, but now Tar is here. Going to start doing some work. Tidehunter kind of getting caught around now. Now OD used the Rod of Atos, so now is not able to isolate Tar. The Static Storm is dropped, but Love and Peace and Love just kind of casually walk out of it. So many things going. Oh, wow. Freaking Tide aggressively goes in there, picks off that support hero. So 2 for 1. Looks like that fight is going to calm down. I think that fight could have gone a little bit differently, except just interesting Rod of Atos target choices from OD.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I thought that fight went pretty well for Peace and Love, all things considered. They prevented Ziggy from getting any kind of RP off. They got a couple kills out of it. Actually, they might pick up another kill here as the supports kind of rotate in. Yeah, he's gonna get lifted through the charge. The biggest thing out of that team fight, I felt, was the Tidehunter landing his 5-man Ravage in the middle of everything, really setting up the turn for Peace and Love.
Yeah, he ended up getting that PA as PA blinked on somebody too, so PA was kind of isolated. Didn't end up killing him, but kind of made the PA not near as effective in that fight. Boy, this anti-mage just farming up LSC's Ancients. Aged Warden's gonna finally spot him out. Anti-mage has pretty much all the farm he wants. Already has his freaking Skull Basher online.
I think that the anti-mage should pause his Abyssal Blade purchase now and go for MKB. I think that at this point, he's so far ahead of the enemy core heroes that he doesn't need the Abyssal as long as he's got True Strike. He just blinks in and murders the PA. I think that and the BKB need to be his two focuses. The Vanguard, not so much.
Yeah, I think this Tidehunter is not like keeping this AM protected, but I think this Tidehunter is making so much space for AM. His Ravages are just completely on point. It's really making kills come up when LLC has usually 5 of their heroes and Peace and Love don't, and they're still getting kills or having only minimal losses.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, okay, so I don't know OD's talent tree very well, so he ends up opting to go for the additional movement speed over the Essence Aura shift change. So he is a pretty fast flying demon. I think that's what he is. Flying statue.
He's a devourer.
What was he called before? Outworld Devourer? Was it Obsidian Destroyer? Is that what it was?
Something like that, yeah.
See his Lotus Orb come in here. Oh, poor Snap. Gets just beaten down. Now actually immediate smoke comes out. They get revealed. Pop the dust. Disruptor ends up going into the place where no one wants to live. Oh, Ravage actually catches out Ziggy. He's going to try to skewer away, but he is so low on health, he is not going to get out of that. And 3 heroes fall from LSC. And Anti-Mage, I think, is saying, I am here to fight. Look at all my pretty items. LSC, what are you going to do about it? And LSC are going to say, hey, you got to go back and take out this tier 1. It's still up. So I think they're going to end up doing that.
No, they're just going to go into mid lane. They'll try to pressure this mid lane tower here. The Tidehunter will push top. He should be able to do that by himself as there is a creep wave there.
Abyssal almost online for this Anti-Mage. What do you go after the Abyssal on Anti-Mage in this kind of game?
I mean, I think he needs MKB, and I think he needs a BKB.
Yeah, I don't think a Scepter's really going to give him a lot of bonus this game. You're blocking, I mean, between Track and Tar, you're not really doing much for that, so MKB makes a lot of sense. Wow. Alright. I didn't think 15% Essence Aura would be enough for me to think it. Just usually the movement speed on a core isn't usually what you want to go, so. But 40's
It's probably one of those things where like Essence Aura already procs enough. It procs 40% of the time. So as long as your mana pool is not like really small, you're always going to get enough procs to keep your mana high. So, you know, it's just better to be faster. Also, OD is a hero that does have some move speed problems.
Ooh, Tar's going to end up getting rooted out. AM not opting to go in. Doesn't have his Abyssal Blade yet. Nope, as I say that, like pretty much as I say that, AM has his Abyssal Blade online. AM continuing just to farm this map. Ziggity,
This should make my life easier.
what is he working on?
Echo.
Echo Saber. Okay.
He's got the Echo Saber completed.
Okay. Tells you how often I
So
build
choosing
Echo
to
Saber.
go a little bit, he's choosing to go a little bit more damage centric here.
Looks like we're gonna have a little bit of an engagement here from Peace and Love. Gonna end up beating down this poor little Disruptor. Not much you can do about that. Tries to actually pick off the Shadow Demon on the back line. This anti-mage is just...
Oh, the Rubik TP's in and manages to pick up Ziggy. Great play there from him.
And anti-mage is just gonna start farming LSC's creeps.
Radiant's bottom
The neutral
tower is under
area.
attack.
I don't think they can do anything about it. Peace and Love officially own this map. Snap's trying to get some stuff in on this tower. We haven't seen Snapped in a while. Does have his Desolator complete. Ends up actually getting a nice tower kill too.
Bottom tower has
That's a
fallen.
pretty big win for LSC.
Well, they're going to trade a tier 2 tower for Roshan. So this is the classic trade.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah, and I don't. LSC's in no position, even if they smoke. Yeah, they're not even gonna smoke in, so they don't. They either don't know it's going or they're just conceding it. Probably don't even know
They
it's going.
probably know that it's going now because they allowed the creeps to go up the hill for so long, but yeah, it looks like they're moving in that direction. It's going to be too late though. Track will come out onto the Rubric as the Roshan dies. The gate does come up, as does the lift here. Nice charge out from the Rubric as the AM picks up another kill. Mega kill streak for him. And there's actually a double damage rune in the bottom river. LSC better hope that Peace and Love do not scout that out.
Blue's really about to rotate on it. I don't know if he's gonna want his AM to go back for it, but yeah, no, he ends up just grabbing it. Shadow Demon with DD is probably a blessing for LSC. AM just freaking shoves off that lightning bolt. The tower finally doing some decent damage onto him.
And this is the beauty of Aegis though, and of having a Shadow Demon on your team, is you just spam illusions at it. He's got Manta as well, so he can throw those up if he wants to. This is definitely a tier 3 tower death with the next set of illusions. I'm a little surprised he didn't just Manta there and have them finish it off. Only 100 HP.
Yeah, I don't think we have any silences or any like really abilities that he needs to save the Manta for, right?
Track maybe. But I don't really know that he needs to save it for that. This time the OD is actually going to go up the hill. Here comes the AM. He hits it twice. Come on. He's got to finish it up. He's going to get skewered back into the base here. He does have a blink.
Whoa.
Nice blink in here from the Tidehunter. That will connect on 3. And the OD ult connects again. The Nimbus is thrown down, but it's not anywhere close to any of these heroes. And now Anti-Mage is just chasing after people. He wants to kill the Disruptor. That's some hate right there. Disruptor will buy back immediately. He throws up a gate of his own. He's going to glimpse the AM
glimpse.
back. Now he's in the middle, well, towards the side of a Static Storm. He does have Aegis still. They will force that out, but in the meantime, their barracks are taking heavy damage. The ranged has fallen already. Melee going to fall here relatively soon. AM actually gets aggressive and blinks forward. He's got BKB.
That's
10-second BKB here. He
that's
could go on this.
balls.
He's going to go for Distant Echo. He just gets a couple bashes. Tar's very low here. AM blinks forward now. He's got the BKB if he wants to use it. The Zeus is going to get banished. Now he's going to get soul catchered and just gets ruined there as LSE not able to hold off this anti-mage. He's now got a 10,000 net worth lead on the closest hero.
Oh my gosh.
Poor Distant Echo. If you want to talk about net worth and nice 3-man RP here. Now the AM's gonna BKB Manta out here. He just stuns Snaps to death. Ziggy may be next on the menu here. He's actually somehow skewers past the AM and his illusions. Just an Echo throws up the gate, almost taking a death for himself. He gets bashed there. He's almost certainly dead.
This is kind of where you see the bounty hunter just not being near as fortunate. You're not getting the kills, and what can you do when a team just runs at you? You can watch them run at you.
I mean, and this is the problem. The problem with their lineup isn't necessarily that they couldn't go out and get kills. It's that they didn't really go out and get kills.
I totally agree. Yeah.
They kind of set themselves up to like farm. The PA farmed a lot, and the other heroes rotated some, but it wasn't like they were trying to 5-man up and go out and get lots of track kills. They kind of settled into a groove that the AM, he wants to be in that.
Yeah, this AM is having, I mean,
they will pick up the Tidehunter here.
And pray to God that the Aegisworn doesn't die from it. Oh! Ends up actually popping the full static storm for now. Am even less concerned. I don't know how much concerned he was anyways. His BKB is back online. 9-second charge.
He's got the MKB on the menu here too. He buys up the 2 javelins right away. He's going to send the courier to the Seeker Shop. He's got the gold for the Hyperstone as well. This AM is just built.
I don't know what else he can do at this point. This AM is just completely out of control. Still 10,000 net worth above the OD. And the OD's on his team.
And I think for me, the problem with the LSC lineup is not necessarily, I mean, it's mostly that they didn't follow game plan, but I feel right now that the game necessitates supports that have hard control, that have hard stuns. And they don't have any. Like,
No.
They've got Disruptor Glimpse, and they've got a Bounty Hunter. Like, neither one of those heroes provides any kind of hard support, and I think that you have to have hard support in the game right now. You just have to.
Well, you're kind of seeing the difference too in the supports, right? Like, even the Shadow Demon, who doesn't have, I would say, a conventional control, still has pretty good control. He's able to not only protect his cores, but he can also kind of provide that control for his team. And now I think.
Well, and in addition to that, they have the hard control of the Tide Ravage. They have the Rubric Lift, which is essentially a hard control. It's a little bit different than most, but it's essentially hard control. It's 1-man RP used there, but the Tidehunter Ravage in response, and the Hammer drops and destroys 2 heroes. Buyback will come out from the Phantom Assassin, but the AM is just on these mid-tier 4 towers by himself. His team's fighting battles, and he's just chunking down tier 4 towers. Looks like they will redirect their attentions towards the top lane here.
AM, I think, not sure he has a ton to be afraid of. He's got his Manta, BKB, ends up getting a pretty decent. Oh God, Tar just exploded. Goodbye, world. True Zeus. Yeah, and Ziggy calls it
GG is called.
This is going for game 3, boys.
I mean, I think we already kind of did the post-mortem for this. LSC maybe didn't quite follow the lineup plan to the degree that they needed to, but more than that, I think the AM just played really, really well. This is a great AM game. Like, there's no control for him, right? You see Disruptor, Bounty Hunter picked first two. You know, AM, Storm Spirit, Tinker, like those are all heroes that spring to mind because they're like, what are you going to do to catch me? And he ends up 11-0-4, top net worth. Like, just a very well played game from him and the rest of Peace and Love.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to a game 3 in this playoff. This is elimination. One of these teams will be kicked out of the AD2l Contender playoffs. Maniac, thanks for those stats. They were fantastic, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, everybody, we got a draft in this Game 3 playoff action. I am Sequoia. I have Legion and Maniac here. Gentlemen, the draft and the game are yours. Take it away.
All right, Maniac. As we look at this opening here, we see Peace and Love. Here, what do you think of the first phase of bans and picks?
For Peace and Love, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And LSC just going with a combo that they're very comfortable with. Seen play multiple times before.
How about in terms of bans here, we see LSC has self-banned out the Disruptor in the first phase. I find that very interesting. Again, I think that's just a hero that I think he's good, but I don't know if he's ban-worthy good. Do you?
Not really, but I guess if you're not comfortable playing against him, you might as well get rid of him if you'd rather play against someone else that you could put in that spot.
10 seconds remaining.
I think it's interesting to ban the Chaos Knight.
Yeah,
And
that
they
must just
have
be like a
been
Peace
banning.
and Love. Like it must just be a hero that they like to play, and it is a hero that does synergize pretty well with the Shadow Demon.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if I'm Peace and Love, instead of banning that sniper, I might have thought about banning the Shadow Shaman and then picking AM up again. You know, AA is not a hero with hard control, and Axe needs a Blink Dagger before he's able to really do it effectively. Spectre is the pickup here, and I know that this is a Ziggy special, although it's possible Snapped might play it as tends to be the carry player, but this is definitely a hero LSC likes. It's a hero that we've talked about to great lengths how we don't like it, and why is that?
She just takes way too long to get online because you kind of need that radiance quickly, and she's fairly squishy, so pretty much any pressure at all is too much for her, and she gets behind, takes forever to get that radiance, and just kind of lets the other team take over by the time she can do anything.
The good news for LSE with this pickup here is that Peace and Love kind of open up with a draft that looks like they want to do the same thing as last game, where it's just kind of like farm up. And Ancient Apparition is a good lane partner, but yeah, I think Spectre is just one of those heroes that the meta is not quite right for her right now. Centaur, the response pickup, this is not a hero we see a ton either as our resident offlane expert. Why is that?
I just don't think he provides enough damage, or he's not a big flashy big alt hero and doesn't really right click a whole lot. He's just kind of like an alt and a stun maybe, and he tanks some damage. I just don't think he's better than other offlaners at this time.
Yeah, he doesn't farm especially well either in the early phases. I
Yeah,
mean, he can stay in lane. It's probably a pretty good matchup for this Spectre, you know, having the return damage against what's probably going to be a tri lane.
yeah, I think LSC is gonna need to pick a strong laner to go with them, I don't think that was it. But I don't think that was a good pairing with what they have, and I don't know how well he'll be able to help protect the Spectre.
I know Sequoia is a big fan of the Nyx assassin support, but there's really nothing to set up his stun in this game. And they don't. I mean, they have a little bit of slow, but not a whole lot going on. I don't like the OD pickup into the Nyx assassin. I mean, I think that's kind of playing into the hands of LSC a little bit with that, having that mana burn available. But I guess if that is something that Dirty Motrin is comfortable with, and they felt that they can do it again, it's a decent pickup.
I don't think it's very good against the Nyx assassin, but I think it's fairly decent against both the AA and the Spectre, just because you can it puts out a lot of damage quick on those two of the squish shooter heroes.
Yeah. If I was Peace and Love right there, I would pick the AM. Like, he was still in the pool. They have little to no control available for him. He could have just ran rampant, and the chances that OD is going to get banned are probably a little bit less than the AM. So instead, they will be forced to pick here. They need a carry, something that's going to synergize with the Shadow Demon, maybe a Luna. This could be a decent Luna game. She's pretty fast-paced, ranged, so she doesn't have to take too much harass from the axe. BKB
I'd like
carrier.
Luna. Trying to think of who else would be good in this.
You're probably going to want something range. Like, PL would be okay, but axe is going to call a lot of those illusions, and it's not going to be the greatest. I think you want a BKB carrier. And probably somebody that's a little bit fast. Lycan could be a good pickup here.
I think Lycan would be really good. I think a Jug could work fairly well.
Jug and Luna would be my two favorites for this pick here. I really think this is a good Luna game. You have good save with the Shadow Demon, with the Centaur ult, with the OD imprisonment. You need some push, so you've got the illusion spam that you can provide there. I think that would be an overall very good pick here, but we'll see what
Spectre has to be right on top of you, so that ult can do a lot of damage to her.
Yeah, and if you're worried about that too
Axe
much,
coming in, if those two are next to each other, there you go. A lot of damage between the glaives bouncing back and forth between illusions from Spectre and the axe who's going to be coming in and initiating as well.
And if you're really concerned about people getting right on top of you, the Spectre, the Axe, etc., you can get the Hurricane Pike, and I think it's a pretty underrated item on Luna. Gives you the tank ability, basically, of Assange, and the ability to attack from a greater distance, which is always a plus for range heroes, especially if you're fighting an Axe.
Also help with getting away from what little hold they have, the LC had. Back to the Zeus.
So Tar had a good laning phase in the last game. It wasn't until Anti-Mage really started to get out of control that the OD also started to get out of control. So I don't mind the Zeus pickup here. I am skeptical about the second and third picks here from LSC, but I guess we will see as we head into this elimination match who will survive. Will it be Peace and Love or Lemon Snow Cones? Maniac based off draft, who do you think has the edge?
I think Peace and Love does. I don't like Spectre, and I don't really like their protecting heroes for Spectre. So I think Peace and Love will dominate the lane phase and then just kind of carry on, take over the game.
One thing that could be very interesting is throwing the supports down in the lane with the Centaur, or potentially even just aggro trying and letting the Centaur go up against the Axe. I think Luna would have a decent time against Axe, and putting pressure on Spectre is always something that is in your best interest. So we shall see here as we pop into the game for the first time. No smokes on either team, it appears. Oh, no, there is one on the Shadow Demon, but he has not popped it. And it doesn't look like they're heading that way to pop it, so. So, a little interesting again that we're not going to see any kind of early game fight here.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the mids staying back to block. Even the Luna is staying back towards her tower.
Yeah, I think the change does kind of make it less necessary for that core to get it, since everybody's going to get the gold. You know, you can have somebody else pick it up.
Better to not risk the core, just because if they come in and you'd rather lose that support for it than losing your core, who will then miss out on some last hitting and right off the bat.
The horn will sound. It does appear that we will get 2 bounties for each team. Not doing anything too crazy with the lanes. It does look like it'll be dual lanes for Peace and Love, whereas LSC will be picking up a tri-lane here in the top lane. Like we said, they're going to need to protect the Spectre because this is, I mean, in a lot of ways, this is that kind of classic 4 protect 1. Sure, Zeus can do a lot of damage, but very rarely are you going to see a Zeus dominate a game to the extent that other heroes can.
I do like this Shadow Demon paired with the Centaur because you can banish them and then you can just walk up and have a stun set up for you.
Oh, and speaking of, he's going to get stunned and a lot of chilling touch damage coming out here. The dagger will connect. He's actually going to imprison himself, which is going to guarantee his death here. 2 more CS, so a bit of a misplay there. Maybe a return kill here. Yeah, it looks like Aegis Warren ventured a little too close to the tower, so he will die in response. Not a terrible trade there as far as the Shadow Demon goes. I do think that if he would have imprisoned one of the other heroes, he would have had a better chance at picking up that, or not picking up First Blood, or giving up First Blood, rather. Ziggy taking a lot of right-click damage here, forced to eat a tango and run away. Nyx will come in with a stun, and Chilling Touch is going to connect here. Aegis Warren will go down, but so will the Centaur. Shadow Demon trying to get a little illusion spam up, and then the bottom lane Snapped is going to go down to the Rubric. A little last-second fade bolt for the win.
Yeah, this Axe is already struggling this lane here against these double-ranged.
They just went the 3 mango build, which is what you see on a lot of off-lane Nyxes. I don't know if it's as good as the as the support Nyx, but I do enjoy seeing these mass tango builds.
Maybe he's thinking he needs to get up there and do some harassing, so that extra regen helps him out. Man, honestly, I think they just send Rubik top, because this Luna, even like while Rubik's back pulling, has the Axe out of lane. I think it's more important to shut down this Spectre.
Yeah, like I said, Luna is one of those heroes that can deal with the Axe fairly well. She stays just out of his range. In the top lane here, we've got a little bit of aggro going on, but Centaur just going to casually walk out of the way. Tar is invis in the mid lane here, looking for some kind of opportunity to go on the OD, but not really seeing it. He does have his soul ring up, so pretty good start to the game for him. Banish will come out now onto the Spectre. Nice stomp coming out of it. The illusion's doing some good damage. The Centaur, ooh, nice double stun here from Aegis Warren. Centaur got stunned up by the Spike Carapace, setting that up. Ziggy again will be kind of forced back. He tangos up, uses a stick. All things considered, the Centaur's Shadow Demon dual lane are doing a really great job of dealing with the tri-lane. As A gets stunned up, he will throw down the Ice Vortex for the slow. Carapace will stop the Centaur for the moment. Another double stun coming out from Aegis Warren. And this is the power of the Centaur, right? He just kind of runs at you and harasses. Ziggy forced to throw the dagger into the trees and run back.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a lot of troubles once he gets those tranquils up,
and
too.
The bottom lane
he'll just...
Axe takes a shot from the Luna. That Lucent Beam and 2 more autos will finish him off. Luna 101 with 19 CS, doing quite well for herself right now.
Dire's bottom tower
What were you saying there before that kill interrupted you?
I was saying that with the Tranks up on Centaur, I think it's going to add a lot of problems for LSC, because he's just going to continue running in, and then he can just run back for a few seconds, completely fill his health, run back in, and start doing what he's doing again. Ziggy's already sitting 160 health.
And they've got some tangos on Aegisworn here that might get shared out. He tries to throw out a dagger for CS. I don't even know if he got that.
Ziggy comes up at all. I think that they can just imprison and stomp him. Yep, and they're going to go back and Shrine.
Yeah, Tar is having a very good lane once again here. He's 30-4 versus the 22-3 of the OD. But I think, honestly, if you're OD, you're pretty okay with this. You haven't died. You've got decent farm of your own. Your other two lanes appear to be winning. And I think you feel very comfortable in a game that, your window is probably anywhere between... You can win this game between 25 and 60, 70 minutes. Like, you're not worried about the mid or the late game here with this lineup. Shadow Demon is going to go in on the Nyx, but in the bottom lane here, Snapped is going to get chased back behind the tower. The Zeus is going to rotate in here as well. Aegisworn does die up into the top lane to the Centaur. Cold Feet comes out onto the Rubric, as does the Bolts. The ultimate as well, but it's not until Distant Echo throws a snowball that a kill will finally be picked up there for LSC. So it takes a rotation, and they don't get the carry, but they do get a kill there. So it is now 5-3 in favor of Peace and Love.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Do you like on the Zeus that he levels up the Arc Lightning? I know a lot of times I'll upgrade the Lightning Bolt because you can spam Arc Lightning level 1 a lot better when it's level, and then level up the big burst so you can kind of take on heroes.
Yeah, I think it just depends on like what your goal is as the Zeus. If you're trying to do a lot of fighting, then the Bolt is Thunderbolt's definitely better, or Lightning Bolt. But if you're just trying to farm, points in Arc Lightning are very good. The thing that I'm a little bit surprised about, and I don't know if you had a chance to look at this in the last game, is the static field damage versus movement speed talents on the Zeus. I was a little surprised that Tar decided to not grab the 1% static field damage because it seems pretty good. I know 1% sounds terrible, but Zeus's often do like 60 to 80,000 damage in a game, so that 1% adds up very quickly.
Movement speed is picked up more, but it only has like a 2% better win rate. So it's not much, but it is picked up significantly more than 1% static field.
Interesting. Like Sequoia was saying, a lot of the movement speed talents you don't see picked up a whole lot, but with at least these two mid heroes, they seem to be better.
Yeah, I really like the movement speed on OD just because you can run in and get some hits, and then if they try to run you down, you can outrun them, turn around, get some more hits, and build up that intel.
Centaur about halfway to his Blink Dagger, sitting in a very good position. It does appear that OD is not going to pick up the first item at Rod of Atos this game. He's going to go for the Force Staff to begin with. So that just kind of solidifies my thought that he was picking it up for Vision on the Bounty Hunter, primarily. Rubik's trying to wrap onto this axe. I don't think this... Oh, maybe. Okay, maybe they're going to be able to get this. Luna can drop down the ultimate. They will get called, though. The spins come out, and... Yeah. Only... Honestly, the Luna didn't even need to drop the second Lucent Beam. In the top lane, the Shadow Demon will die thanks to the Thunderstorm of Tar, and then the Urn of Ziggy will pick up the second kill there. So 2 drop in the top lane, 1 drops in the bottom.
It is a much needed gold influx for Ziggy.
And he has queued up that Radiance, and he's gonna... I mean, he's looking at probably at least 10 minutes, unless he can get some really nice team fight battles in here pretty soon. Stomp will come out, though. He's going to get harassed. The double edge comes out. He blades into the tree there. and will be able to run away, but they see him. They know that he's pathed in there. The poison will miss, but it gives enough vision that now the stomp comes out, a double edge again, and Ziggy will fall. Now the Centaur are going to try to ult away, but doesn't get far enough away from the cold feet, and will end up falling. Shadow Demon having to run as well. A Thunderbolt will not scout out his position in the bottom lane. Axe actually picks off a kill onto the Luna.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So a big pickup right there for him. Calling Blade is up.
Wow.
Rubik with the 4-point fade bolt into Calling Blade, and Axe did not see that coming at all.
And he's got an instant Culling Blade too, so before you can even see it coming, it just comes in and gone.
I thought back in the day Rubik did a little like staff hit, but didn't look like he did there. The top lane Shadow Demon is going to get stunned up. Cold Feet put onto him. He's going to try to run away. Centaur Stomp comes out, as does the Soul Catcher. I think there was a little bit of miscommunication there. If he would have not dropped that Soul Catcher, he might have been able to live. Tar picks up a kill onto the Rubric, and now that Ziggy is going to rotate into the mid lane. Tar will fall. This OD in about 3 seconds could go on to Ziggy here. Could drop the ult at any time or imprison himself if he wants to. The person can come up. Is he going to do it? No. He does it.
It doesn't
Okay.
after all damage is enough.
Yeah. All the damage ticked out on him, and then he threw up a little bit of a panic imprisonment there. But
I'm kind
He
of surprised he
will
didn't
pick up
drop the
those
ult a little sooner there. Or
yeah,
at
I
all.
am.
I thought
I'm
he had
very
just put it
surprised
down.
as well. So although it feels like things are going very well for Peace and Love right now, they only have about 1,000 net worth lead. Up by 1 kill. Haven't really pushed any towers, so LFC definitely right in this, but it just feels like Peace and Love are right where they want to be.
Yeah, I do think that they need to rotate up top to kill Ziggy. Maybe 1 or 2 more times at least. Just so that you can delay that radiance as much as possible.
Rubik is going to lift the Nyx. The Shadow Demon throws out an auto a little bit too soon, as the Spike Care Base will end any hopes of getting a kill onto the support Nyx. And Tar actually changing his build up a little bit here as he goes Soul Ring into the Aether Lens this game. Last game he went Soul Ring into the Kaya, so choosing to get a little bit of extension on his fight capabilities in this game. Wants to be able to hit those targets that are running away with the Centaur ult. Luna showing no fear here, but the Ancient Apparition ult is going to connect there. How ballsy does Snaps want to get? Not very.
Doesn't quite have that Blink Dagger. I think if he had the Blink Dagger, he could have probably gone in on it, but without that, you just can't get in fast enough without getting ulted.
And the Luna will just salve up and be able to continue to farm. In the meantime, there are 3 Radiant heroes in the mid, and looks like Aegisworn is going to ult into here as well. And Luna going to chase into this tower here. Hasn't had to use the ult. She has a Lucent Beam if she can get vision. Nighttime vision for the win there for Snapped, as he sticks close to those trees, and Luna just not quite able to
Dire's
pick that up.
bottom tower is under attack.
I find it very I find the Luna build very interesting, that she's maxing glaives over Lunar Blessing. Usually see the opposite, just because those glaives, as they bounce, reduce damage by 35%. So sure, you're hitting 6 targets, but by the time it hits that 6th target, you're doing nothing. In the top lane here, the Centaur will stampede and try to run after Ziggy. They will not connect with that, though. He will try for the TP. The Thunderbolt off the mark, and so he will be able to TP back to base. Rubik's going to be able to casually walk back into safety, and they have forced a TP rotation, leaving this OD with time to farm in the mid lane.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The offlane and support for Peace and Love in the last 2 games have been very on point in the way that they've created space for their cores. And Axe has picked up his Blink Dagger, so any more of those cocky stand in the middle of the lane plays by Luna will most likely be punished. Shadow Demon gonna TP up towards the top lane, and the Snaps can see this. He does not, though. A scan comes in behind. Not gonna pick up anything, though. A stun comes onto Ziggy. Now he's gonna get lifted, and oh my goodness, he just explodes there. As the Hooded Defiance is gonna protect Centaur from most of the damage coming out from the AA. They will spot that AA out, and they did have a ward here, so they will probably know that that ward was placed. And it looks like actually P&L are going to try to gank into the jungle, at least momentarily. Now they're going to redirect their attentions back towards the top tower.
It was really good to rotate on that Spectre, but I think they need to do it at least one more time before Spectre gets this relic up, which still needs a little over 1,200 gold for it, but just trying to delay that as much as possible.
Into the bottom lane here. Luna's going to go into Aegis-Worn, but she's going to get blinked on. The lift will come here, but the Zeus able to pump out all kinds of damage. A little bit cocky to be going into what you know is at least 2 heroes and not drop the ult there. Had the mana for it. I think if she leads with that ult, she's probably able to pick that. Also, tread switching right there would have been hugely important going into strength from the agility. Just an Echo gonna pop from the Purge, but Ziggy will pick up a return kill. So probably not worth it there for the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, that was definitely worth it for LSC getting that gold onto the Spectre, getting her really close to that relic now. 300 gold away.
And Ziggy actually getting this Radiance a little faster than I thought he would with the pressure that he was facing. I figured it would take him to about 20 minutes, but he's looking... I mean, he's looking at maybe like a 18.5-minute Radiance now, which all things considered is pretty good.
Yeah, they started out with really good pressure, but they kind of like pulled back as time went on, and I think they just need that pressure on longer.
Pinks come out here from the supports. Dust will be thrown out, as will the lift, Lucent Beam, and that is a dead Aegis-Worn. Unfortunately for him, wanders into, and he should have known this because he was up there when they placed that ward that got dewarded. There had to be a sentry up there somewhere, so wanders into the vision of that sentry and pays for it with his life. Now Luna wandering up, she actually gets spotted out by the creep wave. Daytime vision for the lose there for P&L. So they're going to know that she is here and stick close to the tower. They're just going to have to redirect here into the lane. So second item Rod of Atos this game for the OD. So still looking for some of that lockdown, but prioritizing the Force Staff over it this game, which I think is fine. That's a more than fine decision. Force Staff is just such a good item on that hero. You need to pick it up as quickly as you can, I feel. This game, though, is insanely close. I mean, it's a 2k gold lead. All the cores are, you know, within a couple thousand gold.
Ziggy hasn't gone to pick up that Radiance or sent the courier yet, and he's sitting at 4,400 now.
He still needs 5,000 gold snaps. Snap blinks in a little over aggressively there. The Stampede will move forward. The Banish comes out here. Ziggy wants to get some return kills. The Astral Imprisonment will come out. Ziggy gonna be forced back potentially here. OD has a Force Staff and a Rod of Atos. Just throws the Atos out. You know what? I'll fight you. He takes him down. The AA looking for trying to get some kind of return. The Astral Imprisonment will come down. Poison to follow, and Echo forced to run away. The lone survivor of LSC. As across the map, 4 heroes go down. A huge team fight there for Peace and Love. It's Luna closing in on the Manta style here, much like the last game, picking up these farming items for these heroes, getting lots of space and doing a lot of work with it. They are going to try to rotate the gank squad down here. Aegisworn is invised up, but are they going to be able to pick this up? Aegisworn does hit the stun. Cold Feet will come out. Tried to go for the bounty, and the mana burn will pick that up. I think if Luna just tries to run to the south there, probably survives, but greedily goes for the bounty rune and dies instead. Ziggy about 550 gold away from that Radiance, so I guess I was initially right when I called 20-plus minute Radiance. For a second there, I thought that with the way the team fights were going, he'd be able to do something with it. As the lift comes back here, Blink in the stun, the double edge, and oh my goodness, the stolen Thunder God's Wrath will end Ziggy's life. Great pickup there. I did not even notice that in the last team fight that Rubric had managed to pick up that skill. Great pickup for him as they kill the carry of LSC once more.
Oh.
The stun there from Aegisworn, but I don't think it's going to matter here. He's going to get thrown back into the middle of things here. Double Edge going to connect on the AA. Thundergod's Wrath comes out from the Zeus this time. Cold Feet goes onto the center. They're going to force people back. Aegisworn wants a kill. AAL is incoming here. It will connect onto the Shadow Demon. The stun will cancel a TP here, but now the Rod of Atos. You just traded your life for another kill there, but the Luna dies in the bottom lane at the same time, giving up a ton of gold to the Axe. Blade Mail up on him. I think this is the point of the game where, and honestly, the point of the game was probably after that big team fight in the mid game, or in the mid lane. Yep. Tar is going to trade some shots here. The OD. Oh, the hammer is enough. I thought the imprisonment being down was going to stop that from being anything. And instead, that hammer ended in a kill. But I think that after that big mid lane fight, the call for P&L should have probably been to just group up in 5-man. Like, collect all these outer towers, pressure the Spectre as much as you can, and go from there. I think Luna's too exposed right now with the AA, Spectre, Axe, Zeus. I mean, they got this classic global lineup. And Luna's a little squishy. The blink forward onto the OD here. Blade Mill is up. Mana burn and off with his head. Again, P&L getting caught out. Off on their own. This is kind of how you give away these gold leads.
Yeah, I thought it would have been really important for them to group up his 5, like you said, before the Radiance could come out, which is almost there. 100 gold. But that'll add a lot to stopping their pushes.
Indeed, that Radiance might be exactly the turnaround that LSC have been waiting for in this game. They have never led in either experience or gold.
Rubik has that culling blade again, maybe looking to get a dunk on someone.
Looking for Tar here, it looks like. The Stampede is available, the Blink as well. They do have vision on this. Tar giving away the fact that they do have vision on this with the Thunderbolt. A Blink forward from Aegisworn and the Mist stun. There are 4 heroes down here for this. Snapped actually misses the call. Thunder God's Wrath will scout things out, but that's about it. The AA ult will connect only on the Shadow Demon. Everybody's just kind of running around doing things. Rubik's on the side here. He will die to Aegisworn. Stampede comes out now. The double edge will end snaps. The Centaur wants to go for Tar. I don't know if this is a great ass idea, but now Luna is here. Ziggy comes in as well. Luna's going to try to chunk things out here. The Glaive's doing all kinds of work, and Eclipse managing to finish off the rest as the 3 cores of LSC all drop to the deck there. That was the fight that P&L was looking for. They'll be able to collect 2 towers off the back of this. And that's only if they don't TP to the top. They could potentially collect 3 towers off this. AA will throw out Cold Feet and an Ice Blast that forces the Luna away. I guess they're worried probably that Aegis Warren is there with the Vendetta, but he is not. So they only get a tower, but they do get 3 core kills.
Top tower is under attack.
Creeps might actually pick up the top tower. Those range creeps. They do it. Nope, they change target.
LSC Sports feeling poor, and both opt to go for that bonus gold per minute over the spell amps.
Yeah. I definitely get it from the Nyx's perspective. I don't know. Extra 10% on that that ult from Distant Echo is pretty nice, but like you said, just feeling incredibly poor at the moment. Yeah, he is sitting up. The AA is sitting up here into the forest. The Thunder God's Wrath will come out. The AA ult connects as well. Cold Feet will be protected from with the Disruption. Now a Blink stun from the Centaur trying to stop things out here. The Stampede as well. Nice Blink call here from Snap. The Double Edge will connect on him. The Blade Mail doing work though. Snap picks up a double kill. Aegis Warden wants to continue for the Centaur here. He's gonna throw out the Vendetta. Zeus is up here as well. Chain Lightning, Thunderbolt, triple kill for Snap. In the mid lane here, OD wants to pick up the Spectre kill. The dagger has been thrown out to run away, but it's going to run out by the time this ends up. Ooh, she is just so fast, though. 405 move speed with those phase boots. And this is why you pick up the movement speed talent on OD. It is 315 movement speed before that.
Luna getting a pretty good gold influx there from getting snapped.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
The bottom tower will fall, and we've got a 1 tower advantage here for P&L. It feels like if they 5-manned up, they could go for more, but instead they feel pretty confident just kind of splitting the map and farming as much as they can. The Shadow Demon almost has an Aghanim Scepter, which will be a very, very nice pickup for him.
If you're
OD with
LSC, are you
BKB.
content with just farming and letting that Spectre get as much as she can so that when they do 5-man?
I think that at this point, that's probably your best hope, is a 5-man smoke is going to walk right into Aegis Warren. Do they have dust for this? A blink forward from the Centaur. The dust will
Late
not
dust
connect
comes.
there. So the smoke is ruined by Aegis Warren. He's actually going to Vendetta onto the Luna. Lift will come out. You throw him back towards the Shrine. The Stomp. Here, Shrine means nothing to us. The illusions of Luna and OD will pick up the kill on to the Nimbus. Stampede now to maybe try to find some more. Distant Echo taking a lot of damage from illusions here. Blink forward and the stun, the double edge. Snap's just barely blinking out of that Rod of Atos there. Backdoor protection will be in effect. But this tower is almost certainly going to die as soon as these creeps do show up. And the top lane, Ziggy will take a tower in response. Does have Radiance and about 2,000 gold. I mean, if you're Ziggy, Spectre is not the hero you want to be split pushing with. OD is going to TP back behind, throws out the Rod of Atos from a long distance. The pickup comes as well. A little bit off key here, not communicating what they need to do especially well here. Ziggy's going to try to ult back into his team, and he's going to be able to do that. Shadow Demon throws out the disruption to try to do something, but he will just pay for that with his life. So they did not, P&L did not stack those abilities very well. The Atos, the lift, the stun. As the Aghanim Scepter will be completed here for the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, and without stacking those, you need to have everyone back on your side so that Spectre can't do exactly what she did and just TP back to the other side to a support where couldn't do anything.
Luna has finished her Hurricane Pike and Manta Style as well. And going for BKB, only about 300 gold away from that. If she does not have to worry about the Nyx stun, about the Zeus damage, I can't imagine how she ever dies in a fight. That said, she doesn't have that protection right now. Vendetta is available. Blink Call comes in here. The Nimbus as well. The stun. She will die. Aegis Warren picking up that kill. 800 gold to him.
Did finish that BKB before she died, so didn't lose too much gold of her own.
Appears to have a Scotty queued up, so she just wants to get a little tankier against some of these magic burst heroes.
Radiant's top
Yeah, with BKB and then tanking up through so that you don't die through that blade mail, just it'll be a lot to handle.
This Outworld Devourer has a BKB of his own and is creeping up on Sheepstick as well. So once these BKBs start to come out, paired with the pipe of the Centaur, and they scan again. They catch Ziggy in the jungle here. They know that he's here. The blink forward catches only creeps with the stuns, but the Rod of Atos is here. The lift, the Nimbus comes down. The Shrine will get popped. The hammer just destroys Distant Echo. Ziggy tries to walk uphill there, misses once, almost saves him, but the second blast connects. Aegis Warren walks through Invis, but he's not going to be able to do anything as they just farm up the Nimbus.
I think Ziggy needs a BKB soon. With all the stuns coming out and how much damage Arcane Orb is putting out right now.
Well, Arcane Orb is pure damage, so that won't stop that, but it will stop the stuns, it'll stop the imprisonment damage, it'll stop the Stampede slow and damage, so it'll stop a lot of stuff, just not the Arcane Orb. And I think that it might stop the intelligence steal, but not the damage. I could be wrong on that.
Dire's top tower.
Tar split pushing into the bottom lane here, looking to try to get at least a little bit of pressure here to force P&L back. The AL will connect onto multiple heroes. Astral Imprisonment available to protect from some of that tick down damage. P&L definitely could go uphill here if they wanted to, or at least attempt to, but instead they scout out a double damage rune in the top lane here, and Roche is available, so you can't
LSC 's gonna
script
get
this
that.
any better.
LC will get that bottom tower though, so that's a nice that those siege creeps still will work for them.
And,
Well, extra gold.
There's a DD, there's a couple illusions for the Luna, and this Roshan is just gonna crumble. And Rubric throwing a stolen Ice Blast up towards the Dire, scout things out a little bit. And there's nothing that LSC can do but try to find a little farm of their own. Ice Blast will connect with the Centaur as an Urn Shard is on him as well, but the Stampede comes forward. They want to get Ziggy. Ziggy walks up into the tree line there with the help of the dagger. Now he's just trying to find some way to escape. Can he get out of here? Lift is up in 2 seconds. 1 second, the blink comes forward again. He jumps through the trees there. Well played by him managing to get out of there, but his team might be left behind here as Distant Echo does get Atos up. He gets one. Ooh, okay, the imprisonment does come out here.
Radiant's bottom
Can they get this kill? Another Arcane Orb, yes, will do it. Luna gets stunned up in the front there, does have the Aegis. Nimbus is used here. Does she want to use the BKB right away, or does she just pick up this kill? Aegis Warren blinks out. Vendetta tries to get the kill onto the Rubric, but will probably end up paying for that with his life, as now he's going to get lifted up and thrown back into the middle of things here. That's going to be more intelligence for the OD. The Aegis will get popped there. Hammer gets dropped and does good damage to Ziggy, but not quite enough to kill anybody there. The Luna will come back up. She does have VKB available. So it's just 2 for 1 at this point here. The Nimbus will fall. 1 second until there is a second Nimbus available here. Now stun comes out onto the Zeus though, followed by a lift here. Can they kill him before this comes out? The Eclipse comes out and just destroys the Zeus. Instant buybacks from Zeus and from Aegis Warren. Ziggy wants to get out of here, but he's not going to be able to. He might be forced to buy back as well. Nick's stun not going to connect on anything. The OD trying desperately to get away. Has BKB available. Diz going to pop it. No! Could have probably saved himself with the BKB. Maybe just didn't see the timer on it. Luna now desperately running for her life. They force back 2 buybacks. The Hey trying to get in there.
Oh.
Force staff will force through the stun right as things have ended. The call not available for the moment. The blink forward. Now reinforcements have arrived. Disruption onto the Centaur. Luna maybe going to be able to get out of here. Oh my goodness, Distant Echo trying to throw out the right clicks. Not able to do it. The Shadow Demon will die. But that is a
Got the
worthy
ult, he's throwing
sacrifice.
it in, trying to get this Luna.
Ice Blast.
Oh, she knew it was gonna come.
Ice Blast does not connect, so worthy sacrifice of the Shadow Demon there. Saving his carry. That would have been a gigantic bounty for LSC.
I also wasted a lot of time chasing while this OD was dead, not being able to get anything out of it since they chased all the way over across the map.
And OD very close to Sheepstick here. About 900 gold out if he wants to not have buyback, but probably not the wisest course of action at this point. A little friendly banter from the teams here. So Tar choosing to pick up Octarine Core, looking for a little spell steal, and instead of the refresher, what do you think? Would you rather have 2 Nimbuses and Thunder God's Wrath, or would you rather have a little bit of life steal, spell steal?
The spell steal is nice and it'll give more mana and health, but I really think the double ult and double Nimbus would do a lot more work.
It does reduce the cooldowns by 25%. So, I mean, I guess that is a good bonus of it as well. But I think I'd almost rather see the refresher first
Yeah.
as well. I don't know.
Also, in that fight, they got about half. LSC's creep wave destroyed about half of that tier 3 bottom.
Yeah, so good push for them. A little bit more than equitable damage on tier 3s, but unfortunately they had to expend 2 buybacks in order to really gain much out of that. So the lead is crept up to about 10,000 gold, sitting around 7,500 XP. At the moment that we're at right now, your LSC, what do you need to do to get back into this game?
Play carefully and make sure that you're not out farming with this Spectre and get picked off. And just, you've got really good high ground, so there's no real need to risk going out after them. Just
A lot
farm
of
safe.
circles coming out here in this bottom ancient area for the Radiant. I don't know if they know that something's up here or what. Okay, well, Aegisworn will reveal his position by picking up that bounty rune that spawns the Centaurs. Like, what the heck? There are 4 dire heroes in this bottom lane here.
None of them.
Aegisworn wants to go for the Centaur, but he doesn't see the supports. AA does. The Vendetta stun will come out here, but there's a lift. There's a disruption. AA ult connects. Nice carapace there. Will stop things for the moment.
Ooh.
But now Stampede into the 3-man call. What can they pick up here? This fight is kind of disjointed. Shadow Demon trying to run away to the best of his ability. Rubik's going to come in here. Nice stole and stun onto 2. And then the 3-man stop from the Centaur. The double edge. Oh, OD comes in, picks up a triple kill with the huge hammer. Now they want to go after the Zeus. Can they do it? A Lucent Beam in 1 second. Will be able to stop him for the moment. The night vision, not quite enough. He's dodging around trees, but now there it is. The Atos. 4 men have gone down for LSC. Ziggy not in that fight. And an ultra kill comes out for OD.
Axe is the only one who has buyback. This is going to be possibly 2 racks here. Probably 2 racks here.
Ziggy gonna do what he can to try to force people to come back, and he will force the Centaur. The stomp, the double edge, the pipe. He's gonna do as much as he can to just distract Ziggy from this while they take the base. They do force the Axe buyback. Can the Axe, the Spectre, and the AA stop them from taking more than one set of barracks? The bottom lane has gone down. The top lane next to follow. The Lucent Beam comes out. The lift. Distant Echo has fallen to the OD. The illusions are many. Some are going to chase off this Axe. Some are going to hit this barracks here. Ziggy comes in over the cliff side there. Not willing to expose himself to any kind of potential death. So, like you said, that's 2 set of barracks, and P&L are going to be able to just back themselves up, take this top shrine, and regroup. Oh, and Snaps. Okay, I had no idea what the Shadow Demon was doing in there,
He's
but
a base by himself.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
That was just like a perfectly executed fight in the bottom by
Shrine has fallen.
Peace and Love, and it was a mistake. LSC actually ran up that blind hill, all clumped together, and just got triple stunned twice, and then the hammer dropped.
and P&L wanting to grab an Aegis to close this thing out, but Roshan's still got a minute 30 till we see when he respawns, so plenty of time here to wait. We would have got an MKB queued up. She's already dealing out all kinds of damage. They just weren't able to scout things out here. I don't think he really wants to try to do anything. His team's pinned back. Ziggy farming the Ancients in the bottom lane here. Trying to pick up a heart. Like you said, I think BKB is something that is really needed on this team. Axe is going BKB. I mean, I think Ziggy needs one as well. They could probably use a pipe on top of that. Rubik his job is just to be an observer ward right now. He's just camped into this pit, and he's like, you know what? I'm not leaving here until the big guy comes back. The Vendetta does get popped onto the Shadow Demon. Blink comes out here. Disruption will try to save from the Nimbus. Is he going to be able to? He force staffs himself out of the way here. Walks back into it for a moment. But Rubik able to pick up that kill. A little bit ambitious there. As the Roshan... Yeah, there's a regen rune here for... they're going to use the shrine instead. Roshan could respawn in the next second. And instead we get a max timer. So he will be up in 2.5 minutes.
It's the best LSC could hope for, because there wasn't a chance that they were going to be able to get that unless they had a perfect pit fight.
I mean, I think the problem is you kind of almost need that perfect pit fight to win, right? Like, I think you need like the 3, 4, 5-man call into an Ice Blast Nimbus type of deal. I don't know if they can win a fight without something crazy like that.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
Shiva's Guard picked up on the Centaur. It's really the only big item pickup lately on P&L.
But he does have his Moon Shard, so he's attacking it insanely fast and putting out crazy damage.
Yeah, he's got the sheep stick as well. Lots of good control, lots of BKBs. P&L set up in a very good position here. Ice Blast will scout out the Roshan pit, and this rubric is still sitting in. LSC doing the best they can to farm up wherever it's safe and to provide Ziggy as much sight as he can. And this is the benefit of having this Nyx on your team is you can just kind of run around and as long as they don't have a gem, you can just kind of do whatever needs to be done in terms of mobile vision. So they know Roche is coming up soon. It is about 25 seconds. This will have cheese. One would assume Luna, Aegis, OD cheese.
Luna just drop the boots into the backpack and just walk up the hill and attack that last tier 3.
Yep, that would be. Or I mean, honestly, you could just put the BKB in there. You don't need it to your second life anyway.
Ice Blast's gonna scout this out as it just spawned.
Yep. So they will know that this is available. Most likely, they're not in position to do any kind of smoke here. Axe and Ziggy are in the bottom lane. Sure, Ziggy could ult in, but Axe kind of needs to be there to be able to blink in. Aegis is going to kind of Vendetta up and walk this way, maybe try to scout things out. No, he's not even going to Vendetta up. They're just conceding this. And it does look like Luna's going to do what you said and throw the boots in there.
Oh, and a double damage. So she can just walk up there and...
Cheese
Centaur,
goes to the Centaur. Alright, interesting. Thought maybe the OD would eat that Moonshard and grab up some cheese, but instead they're going to let their tank do it. Let him YOLO into the middle of things and eat some cheese when things get dire.
Spectre and Zeus, the only two with buybacks for LSC here.
OD throws out the BKB, just annihilates Agent Sworn. 4 staffs in for more. Throws out the hammer, does not do a whole lot in terms of damage. He's just going to beat up Axe. He throws out all kinds of damage, but in the meantime, Luna takes out 2 barracks at the same time, essentially. Rubik aggressively blinks forward, but not going to catch anything. But that is basically all she wrote here, as this Luna is just tearing through these buildings. And now we've got a Stampede forward. Nick's done on to 2. The Zeus ult rather is going to connect, but doesn't do a whole lot of damage. OD's running around looking for somebody to hit. Nimbus sitting in the middle of things, not doing much at all. Ziggy's going to come into the middle of things here after picking up bottom racks of his own. Can they get some kind of turnaround here? The Purge is available, but now OD showed up. He's just going to destroy Ziggy. Ziggy is back with the buyback. The Luna Eclipse tearing through these heroes of LSC. Tar's going to go down. He has a buyback available. He's going to have to use it as well. Now the heroes are just going to hit the Ancient, and it looks like the Fortified does come out here. The Astral Imprisonment at least delays potential death. The Nimbus comes out here. The Call as well. OD's going to go down, but Luna's just still focusing onto the buildings here. She picks up a triple kill, dies at the last second there. 300 HP for the Ancient, all that's left. If the OD would have focused his fire a little bit more onto that Ancient, they probably could have ended it right there. But instead, LSE lives to fight another battle. They will pick up the Centaur kill as well, so it costs 2 buybacks and basically every building in their base, but they do defend. And they're gonna look for more.
Yeah, all of Radiant was just running in circles around the Ancient, just attacking heroes. They could have just ended it there, but
They do have buybacks available on all 3 cores, and the supports will be up here in about 15 seconds. They do not have a Fortify for this outer tower, so I don't know if they'll really need to buy back here.
No.
Will be able to if they need to.
Even if you have to concede like a tower, that tier 2 mid and the tier 3, I think you're still sitting fine. As Nyx is gonna have to go bottom because there's a huge wave coming. If he doesn't see this, it's just gonna walk in here and kill it.
And it doesn't appear that they do see it. He might even be too late here. He's got a teleport available. There are 2 carts and mega creeps coming in here. Zeus is coming in as well. The creeps are going to do it. LSC lose this game 3. An impressive 2-game showing from Peace and Love as they will take the series and advance to the semifinals, or no, the quarterfinals of the AD2l Season 19 playoffs. Sequoia, run us out of here.
Wow, what a series, guys. So that is it for LSC. Peace and Love will, as Legion said, will move on to the quarterfinals. And let's just take a quick peek at the bracket. So it looks like Peace and Love will play the winner of Book and Mormon versus SWAT Boys. And then the other team, I think the other high-ranking team was Team Blue, and they play. I just actually got off the chat with their captain. They don't actually play till tomorrow, so won't know the outcome of that game in that series until then. But we will likely be casting Team Blue or Book of Mormon next week. I'll have to get a hold of their captains and see who is playing which. We're going to try to cast as many of this league as we can. This is a heck of a bracket this season, so we're gonna cover as much as we can. And as the last thing of the evening, me and Legion have been working on this for quite a while, and we are officially launching a Patreon. So if you guys like what you see, consider becoming one of our patrons. I'm going to hit the launch button live, and everyone can follow. How exciting is that? We have some pretty cool rewards for everybody, and if you like what we do, come check it out. Definitely appreciate everyone's support, and we're going to continue to try to become one of the premier casters of the Amateur Dota League series. There's a couple of them coming out. We're actually going to start casting some Seal games, which is the Sunday evening Amateur League. Yes, that's it. Sunday evening Amateur League over on obviously Sunday nights. So our first game is, I believe, 9 o'clock Mountain. So that would be 11 o'clock Eastern. I'll confirm that, and I will be tweeting that out. I am at AJ Morse on the Twitter. He is at Legion170. And then Maniacs also on the Twitter at Maniac. So thanks again for all your guys' support. Consider our Patreon if you like what we're doing. That's patreon.com/allaboutdota. And for Legion and Maniac, I am Sequoia. We'll catch you next time.